Good afternoon, this is Henry Keane on UATV Daily, wrapping up giving the hard truth in easy terms for the whole free world directly from Ukraine. One of the most important announcements and decisions that was made during the Vilnius summit was the G7 statement about the intention to provide security guarantees to Ukraine. The G7 countries agreed on a multilateral framework to provide Ukraine with long-term security guarantees aimed at protecting it from future aggression by Russia. The commitments, which non-G7 countries are also invited to join, will include the provisions of advanced military equipment on land, air and sea, training of the Ukrainian military, intelligence sharing and cyber defense assistance as well. Within the first day after the NATO summit in Vilnius, the Czech Republic, Denmark, the Netherlands, Norway, Spain and Sweden joined to guarantees for Ukraine, announced Vladimir Zelensky.
We managed to meet with many partners in NATO. Now it is time to turn each such agreement into a concrete result. We have the NATO-Ukraine Council, and this format should work in a meaningful way. We are preparing proposals for our partners. There are new agreements on weapons, on equipment, on aviation, and we are now specifying them. Today we also discussed the preparation of the Crimea platform. We continue our very successful agreement on security guarantees for Ukraine on its way to NATO by preparing treaties with countries, bilateral treaties. I am confident that the number of guarantees will increase. Ukraine and the United States will keep a list of states that will join our joint declaration with the G7 on security guarantees on the path to NATO.
And of course, the only country who hates the whole idea of any security for Ukraine is Russia. In response to the G7 statement about the intention to provide security guarantees to Ukraine, Kremlin spokesman Peskov said that such guarantees encroach on Russia's security. No comments to that. Oh, maybe just one. Peskov, Comrade Peskov. Ukraine entrusted its security to a democratic world in exchange for guarantees of non-proliferation of nuclear weapons. We have fulfilled our guarantees. Now it is the turn of the democratic world to Ukraine, which has been subjected to aggression, needs effective security guarantees because those declared in Budapest Memorandum turned out to be a fiction. The most effective security format for Ukraine is full membership in NATO, of course. Before joining the alliance, Ukraine requires special guarantees within the framework of the Kyiv Security Compact. The Kremlin has a distorted view of international security, or rather said, the Kremlin view of reality. From the standpoint of the Russian leadership, the security of Russia is its right to attack Ukraine with impunity for Russia. Russia unleashed a devastating full-scale war with aim of destroying Ukraine as a state. Therefore, the Kremlin claims to consider the security interests of Russia by the international community are at least inappropriate, to put it mildly. In easy terms, Russia deserves no security at all, nothing but defeat in the war and retribution for the terrible crimes it has committed in Ukraine. On July 17th, the grain deal expires. The extension of the grain deal is in the best interest of the international community, because the Ukrainian food solves the global problems for the whole mankind. Russia brazenly demands the preferences in exchange for its consent to the extension of the grain deal. The meaning of these preferences is to overcome international isolation and strengthen the capacity to continue the aggression. Russia reinforces its blackmail by disrupting the grain deal with terrorist attacks on Odessa city, in particular harbor infrastructure, and a strike on the Snake Island. At the same time, Russia, through its sabotage of inspections, is making efforts to paralyze the activities of the grain corridor, even without formally cancelling the agreement. Concessions to the Kremlin in no way will lead to stable functioning of the grain corridor, but will only encourage the subsequent requirements for the constant revision of the deal. Real security of commercial shipping in the Black Sea region will become possible only after the deoccupation of Crimea and eliminating of the military capabilities of the Russian fleet. Since its inception in the summer of 2022, the Black Sea Grain Initiative has enabled Ukraine to export 29.8 million tons of food. This volume could be much higher if Russia did not obstruct the corridor's operation. Russia purposefully delays the grain deal in order to undermine its effectiveness and reduce Ukraine's food exports. We need a joint international action to ensure the full functioning of the Black Sea Grain Initiative. Every time it comes to extend the grain deal, Russia blackmails, and every time it doesn't work. And this is a victory for the world and another defeat for Russian diplomacy. We urge Global South countries to increase their support for Ukraine, which will help to protect the Ukrainian people from Russian aggression, liberate all of our territories, and defend the principles enshrined in the United Nations Charter. Freedom of navigation is a cornerstone of the economy, trade, and sustainable development. Since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, we have faced challenges to our maritime trade, including the blockade of our seaports. The Black Sea Grain Initiative, brokered by Turkey and the UN, is under threat right now. We need African, Asian and Latin American voices to defend it and restore freedom of navigation in the Black Sea. Ukraine has a clear vision for a comprehensive, just and lasting peace. President Zelensky outlined it in his 10-point peace formula. Whether fighting environmental hazards or bringing Russia to account, you will find a role for yourself if you want to contribute to peace. We invite Global South countries to choose specific peace formulas points where you feel your contribution can really make a difference. 1 year ago precisely, Russia committed another terrorist act against Ukrainian civilians. On July 14th, the military of the aggressor country launched missile strikes on the center of Vinnytsia city. The enemy attack took the lives of 29 people. More than 150 were injured. Today, Vinnytsia commemorates the victims who died as a result of this tragedy. According to the National Police, Russian missile hit the office building. The State Emergency Service said that a parking lot near the 9-story Yuvilini house was attacked. The invaders struck with 4-caliber missiles, firing them from the waters of the Black Sea from a missile boat of Project 21631 by an M. According to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 2 missiles were shot down by Ukrainian air defense. It is noteworthy that the attack took place during a conference in The Hague on holding Russia accountable for war crimes. 35 residential buildings, 23 businesses, 64 private vehicles and public transport were destroyed. After the attack on Vinnytsia, the Russians committed numerous terrorist acts. They destroyed high-rise buildings in Dnipro, Uman, Lviv, hit an evacuation column in Zaporizhia. According to the Russian propaganda, each of these strikes was aimed at decision-making centers, as they put it. Instead, in reality, each of them took the lives of dozens of Ukrainian civilians. That is the Russian army, which was once called the second army of the world, and now it has become the first one, but just among terrorists. Maybe the time has come to stop this terror. It was Henry Keane on UATV English, hoping to give you the hard truth in easy enough terms on our daily wrap-up today. Comment, like and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters a lot to us. Stay safe and tune for more tomorrow. See you soon.